guys, welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be ranking all 32 NFL teams into 4 different categories, from no chance to TBD to contenders to top dogs in 4 different categories. No chance, pretty self-explanatory, but they don't have a chance this year to get into the playoffs, especially not Super Bowl. And then TBD, we don't really know what to expect from them this year. And then contenders, they are contenders for the playoffs. And then top dogs, they're at the top of the NFL right now. Let's get right into it with our first team, the Vikings. And the Vikings, they lost Kirk Cousins. They got J.J. McCarthy and Dallas Turner in the draft. So pretty good first round draft class. And then they did lose Kirk Cousins, so they picked up 2 quarterbacks, Sam Darnold and J.J. McCarthy. Those two are going to battle out and we'll have to see what they have to do. I assume J.J. McCarthy's probably going to get the starting spot, but we'll have to see. I think right now they're at TBD. I don't see them probably not making the playoffs, but I think they're going to be on the edge because their division is pretty leveled out teams. I think they can get right up in there with them, but I think they're going to fall just short. Next team, the Packers. And the Packers, they had a heck of a playoff run last year. They have a really good defense. Jordan Love is developing. Everything is going now for the Packers. I have them being contenders this year. I think they are better than the Vikings. We'll have to see though what they do in the future for next year. But yeah, I think the Packers have a good shot to make the playoffs this year and potentially a playoff run like they did last year. Next team, the Lions. This is another team. They made the playoffs. They made the NFC Championship, almost the Super Bowl if they beat the 49ers. But they ended up losing. They had a commanding lead at halftime, but they could not get it done. So the Lions, I think they are going to be contenders easily next year, right there with the Packers in their same division. So we'll have to see though. Now the Bears. Oh my, where do I start? Caleb Williams, obviously, #1 draft pick. Roman Dunze, another first-round pick. Everything is developing. Not just that, they also got Keenan Allen, DeAndre Swift, and their defense is they have a good defense. Not as much as the offense, but I do want to put them in contenders. But this could go anywhere, any direction for the Bears. It could end up not being a great season, but I'm pretty sure if those players stay, they will develop. I'm going to have them at TBD. We haven't seen a game with those new players, so we really don't know what to expect from them coming into next year, if they're going to be really good or really bad. Or just probably like a 9-8 team, 8-9. That's probably where I expect them to be. But I think the Bears have a good shot to do well next year. Next team, the Eagles. And the Eagles, they were doing so good last year, and then they just fell off completely. And they lost Jason Kelce and DeAndre Swift, but they did pick up Saquon Barkley. I think the Eagles are going to be contenders, but I do not think if they do what they did last year and choke all those games away, I do not think it's going to end up great for them. But they are going to be contenders. Next team, the Cowboys. The Cowboys, they also had a great year last year, beat out the Eagles in the division. I'm going to have them as contenders, but they did not have a good free agency class at all, but they are contenders every year, not really in the playoffs though. And yeah, next team, the Commanders. And the Commanders, I don't think they're going to be that good this year. They did get Jaden Daniels and Austin Eckler. Those are some 2 decent pickups. I don't think they're going to be no chance, but I do have them being TBD. But like comparing them to the Bears, I feel like the Bears are going to be a lot better. They're near no chance, but not there yet. Next team, the Giants. The Giants lost Saquon. I don't think they're going to do that good next year. I actually probably think they finish worse than the Commanders. And the Commanders are at the bottom of the TBD right now, so I gotta have the Giants at no chance. I do not think they're gonna have a great year at all. Our first no chance. But they could potentially have a run like they did a couple years ago, but I just don't see it happening. Next team, the Seahawks. the Seahawks are always just kind of mid, but Geno Smith, he's been pretty consistent, I'd say. And then they got some good receivers, Jackson Smith and Jigma, DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett. Lockett's getting older. I think this is going to be another pretty level year for the Seahawks. TBD, I think, is where they belong right now. I don't think they can have a big playoff run, but I think there's a chance they make the playoffs. Next team, the 49ers, made it to the Super Bowl last year, ended up losing Mr. Clutch, Patrick Mahomes. They got to be top dogs. You got to put them up there. Brock Purdy, still developing. Christian McCaffrey, doing really good right now. Just got on the Madden cover, by the way. Yeah, I think the 49ers are going to stay top dogs. Best defense in the league. George Kittle, Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk might leave, but they're okay right now. 49ers, I expect them to make the playoffs and potentially the Super Bowl. Next team, the Cardinals. They got Marvin Harrison Jr. I do not think that they're going to do that great this year. Kyler Murray, injury. I don't think they're going to do that good this year. I'm going to have them no chance this year. I just do not see them having a great year with a tough division as well. Next team, the Rams, lost Aaron Donald, but he had a great career at the Rams, which you gotta respect him. I think the Rams, they did really good in the playoffs last year. They can make a deep playoff run. I think one more consistent year and they can be contenders. But right now, I'm gonna have them at TBD. I think that's pretty fair for the Rams. I think they had not much people expected the Rams to do that good next year, but if they have one more year where they make the playoffs and potentially a playoff run, I think I'll put them in contenders. Next team, the Panthers. I'm not going to say anything. No chance. Bryce Young, that was his rookie year, but we did probably expect a little more than him. C.J. Stroud is outplayed him by a mile. Yeah, Panthers, no chance. Next team, the Saints. I might have to do no chance again. They're always a pretty average team, and if you get a night game in New Orleans, it could be a problem maybe, but they're just not that consistent to be even TBD or contenders. Not yet, at least. Now the Falcons coming up, and they picked up Kirk Cousins and Michael Penix, which I think everybody thinks is a weird pick. I think it's a weird pick as well. I think they probably could have gone defense, O-line, maybe even Dallas Turner. So I think the Falcons, I don't think they have no chance. I think their division is not that good, and I think they're one of the top ones in the division. I gotta have them at TBD right now. But the lower section of the TBD, I think there's a chance they make the playoffs just because of their division. But we'll have to see. The last team is the Buccaneers. And the Buccaneers, Baker Mayfield did really good last year. I think better than people expected. I think they're going to have a pretty good year. I don't think they're contenders yet. I'm going to have them at TBD. I think TBD has the most people right now. Or both teams, in this case. Many elements. Next team, the Chiefs. Top dogs. Here's the two Super Bowl teams. Mahomes is still going to continue to grow his 3 Super Bowl career. And hopefully to 4 this year for the Chiefs. Their defense is doing pretty good. They lost L'Jarius Sneed, which is a big loss, but I think they're doing just fine right now, celebrating that Super Bowl. And they're top dogs, obviously. Next team, the Broncos. I'm not sure of Bo Nix. So they lost Russell Wilson. They had Jarrett Stidham. If they didn't pick a quarterback in the first round, that would be their quarterback in maybe second round. But they picked Bo Nix. I don't think Bo Nix is the guy. I just think that it was the only quarterback available, and they did not want to have Jarrett Stidham as the starting quarterback next year. And I think that Bo Nix will start, but I don't think he can do that great next year. That could be a no chance. Next team, the Raiders. As a Jordan fan, love the Brock Bowers pick, but they didn't really need him to have a developing Michael Mayer. I will think they're no chance. I think they have a pretty good defense. And they did lose Josh Jacobs. Max Crosby's still there. I think they're going to be a TBD coming into next year. Next team, the Chargers. They got a new coach, Harbaugh, coming in. Hopefully they can change that Justin Herbert trend and turn it around to where he's a good, consistent quarterback every single Sunday, most of the time at least, to be consistent. The Chargers, they always kind of have the talent, but they never really show it. And one big problem, Eckler, Williams, and Keenan Allen are all gone. So I think they're kind of done. Herbert has no receivers to throw to. I'm not going to say no chance because I think they are a pretty good team. I'm just going to say they're going to be TBD because they've shown promising seasons over the last few years, but losing all these players, I'm not sure they can do that this year, but we'll have to see. Next team's the Dolphins. There's a chance I put them at top dogs right here, but they did not show promising stuff in the playoffs. A promising game in the playoffs. I know it was like really cold in Kansas City, but it was cold for the Chiefs as well. So I don't think they're top dogs yet, unless they make it to the Super Bowl this year or maybe AFC Championship. I don't think they're top dogs. I think they are contenders right now. Next team, the Patriots. Say no more. Worst team in the NFL is my prediction for them. After the season's over, I think they're going to be the worst team in the NFL. Not looking good for them right now. Next team, the Jets. Aaron Rodgers. Hopefully we can see more than 5 plays of him this season. That would be awesome. I didn't even get to watch the game, the 4-play game. But, yeah, I'm excited to see A-Rod. I think they have a chance this year. Garrett Wilson coming back is going to be pretty good for them. I think they're not contenders yet until they show Aaron Rodgers is really going to be a big factor, and he's going to be back just like he was at the Packers. Next team, the Bills. They're not going to be top dogs. They wide left. All right, wide left. Yeah, they got to win the playoff games if they're going to be top dogs. They're not going to be top dogs right here. Next team, going to be the Jaguars. Jaguars, Trevor Lawrence. I think he's just got to be a little more consistent if he wants to be a contender. I don't think they're contenders just yet. But contenders, I'm talking about talent and just how they play wins. But here's the thing. The Texans, the Titans, and the Colts are pretty mid teams. I feel like the Jaguars have a good chance to win the division. I'm still going to put them at TBD. Even if they do win the division, it's probably going to be barely. I don't even have them winning the division, but I think they have a chance to. This is who I have winning the division. The Houston Texans. They are going to be contenders coming in next year. If you're wondering why, returning C.J. Stroud, returning Will Anderson, and adding a little, Joe Mixon, Stephon Diggs, not bad at all. They're doing just fine. The Texans are contenders next year. I expect them to make the playoffs and win the AFC South. Next team, the Titans. They're not looking so good right now. They got a new coach. I'm going to have them no chance. I just do not think they're going to have a great year. Last time they did pretty good was 2019, 2020. I think those days are over right now, so I'm not sure what to expect exactly from the Titans, but I don't think it's going to be good. Next team, the Colts. And the Colts, they had a really good draft class, I think. Just in my opinion, I think it was a pretty good draft class and a pretty good offseason. I think they're doing just fine. I think they're going to be TBD, not quite contenders, though. Yeah, TBD for the Colts. Next team, the Ravens. Oh, I dropped it. But now I got it in. Lamar, reigning MVP. We'll have to see what he can do next year. I don't think he's going to replicate an MVP season, but I do think that he's going to have a good year, and the Ravens are going to be top dogs. With these 3 coming up. Next team, we have the Steelers, and they got Russell Wilson and Justin Fields. I feel bad for whoever's going to back up because I would want to go somewhere where you could start. But it's going to be a close battle. If I were the Steelers, I'd probably start Russ. Justin Fields, more of a running quarterback. I just don't think he has what it takes to lead a team like the Steelers right now. They got a really good defensive line, really good defense as a whole. But I have the Steelers going to be at TBD. I don't think they're going to be a contender yet, but that's just where I have them right now. I don't really know what to expect from them. The Bengals, Joe Burrow is going to be back. That's going to be big. I think they're coming back to a season where they kind of have the same team. They lost Joe Mixon, though. I think these past 3 years, this has been a very similar Bengals team that we've all kind of expected to do really good and make it to the playoffs and make a playoff run. I'm going to have them contenders for now. I don't think they're top dogs yet. And then the last team, the Browns, I'm not going to have them contenders. I'm going to have them at TBD. They have a good team. They have a really good offense. But the question is, Deshaun Watson. Joe Flacco's gone. He's on the Colts right now, actually. But the Browns TBD. Thank you guys for watching this video. I'll see you guys in the next one.